Hello, family. Welcome back to this channel. Today, I want to share with you some of the wisdom straight from the Proverbs in the Bible about obeying and honoring our parents. Sometimes we think our parents are just nagging us, but the Bible shows us that their instructions are actually like treasures meant to guide us through life. Yeah. In Proverbs 10, verse 1, it says that a wise man makes a glad father, but a foolish son is the grief of his mother. So, what is this talking about? Think about it. When we make good choices, our parents feel proud of us. But when we live carelessly, it breaks their hearts. Our actions impact more than just us, they affect the people who loves us. And again, in Proverbs 1 for 8 to 9, it says, "My son, listen to your father's instructions and do not forsake your mother's teaching. There will be a garland to grace your head and a chain to adorn your neck." What does this mean? It actually means that we actually feel beautiful and it beautifies our lives when we honor our parents. And it makes us stand out in good way, just like wearing a jewelry. If you actually understand what I mean. And here again in Proverbs 13, verse 1, it says, "A wise son heeds his father's instructions, but a mocker does not respond to rebukes." In other words, a wise person stays teachable, and even if we don't like correction, it helps us grow. Ignoring guidance only sets us up for a mistake we could have avoided. So there are different scenarios where your parents gives you instructions on what to do and then you feel like, oh, I don't want to do it. But in different situations, you can actually learn from and also hear them out to know what they actually mean from it. And then it also helps you to know that people can actually correct you and you receive instructions. But when you decide to do things just on your own accord, it also always sets you up for making mistakes that you could have avoided by listening to other people. Oh, I love this one. Here is this one. Proverbs 23 verse 22, it says, "Listen to your father who gave you life, and do not despise your mother when she's old." We have fallen a victim of sometimes we feel like our mothers or our fathers, they are now old and they are no longer important to us to give us instructions on how to do things. It doesn't make sense that way. Remember that we are once young like you are, and so as you continue to journey through life, you need people that has gone through that phase that you're currently following. And so it says, it reminds us that respect for parents doesn't expire with age. Whether we are young or grown, honoring them is still part of walking in wisdom. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Parents always have things to say. Spend time with old people, mind you. Here's another one in Proverbs 6:20 to 22. "My son, keep your father's command and do not forsake your mother's teaching. Bind them always on your heart, fasten them around your neck. When you walk, they will guide you. When you sleep, they will watch over you. When you awake, they will speak to you." This shows us that when we carry our parents' wisdom, it protects us and also guides us. Also, like using a GPS. It's like when you move into a different country or when you move into a different location where your parents are not in, there is this inner words that keep coming to you that you have heard this instruction before. Like whatever your parents has brought you up from, you continue to carry it along with you. Not when you leave their presence, you dive into, you reteach yourself other things. It doesn't make sense that way. So embody what your parents good ones. Yeah, another point is in Proverbs 15, verse 5. A fool despises his father's instruction, but he who regards reproof is prudent. Like, rejecting corrections doesn't make us smart, it actually makes us fool. And when we humbly listen, we gain wisdom and respect. Some people think that as they grow or as they become matured, they are, nobody talks to them again, nobody gives them instructions. They only abide by their own rules. This is a pure sign of foolishness. I mean, there has to be you have to be compromising around people, and you need to listen to what people have to say, and not just based on your own knowledge or your own understanding. Be open to listen to people, and not just your parents, but people around you. You never can tell what you can learn from a 5-year-old. So always set yourself out there to listen, and not just basing on your own knowledge. This can sound devious, but in Proverbs 30, verse 17, it says, "The eye that mocks a father, the eye that scorns an aged mother, will be pecked out by the ravens of the valley and eaten by the vultures." This verse sounds harsh, I know it, but it's a serious reminder that dishonoring parents leads to destruction, while honor leads to life and blessing. I mean, you remember that part in the Bible that says, "Honor thy parents, honor thy father and thy mother, and your days shall be long." So, if you dishonor your parents, just you're setting your life in the path of destruction. That's just the only thing I have to say. Here's another one in Proverbs 19, verse 26. "Whoever robs his father and drives out his mother is a child who brings shame and disgrace." This warns us that dishonoring parents doesn't just hurt them, it brings them shame, even to ourselves. But when we honor them, we carry dignity and blessing into future generations. You know, this thing that when you do good to your parents, they keep praying for you. But when you don't, there is this pain in their hearts that makes things not work out for you. I don't know a better way to say it, but you understand what I mean. Honor your parents, and your days shall be long. We have come to the end of this episode of talking about parents, honoring children, honoring their parents, even as you grow older. Keep doing right things and always listen. Do not just base on your own knowledge. Alright, I will see you again in the next episode of our Bible verses and stories. Bye.